this video is very explanatory. This includes not just the concept but also the application and uh, and the real life application where you see them. So my agenda is that you get the clarity on the concept and you also will be able to recognize the syntax closure, which are very hard to find in code, in big application, enterprise level application, even the small applications. So that's why the closure is very important. I want you guys to go through the process of understanding how do we convert a function into a closure. I haven't told you yet, a closure is nothing but a function, but with a compact syntax. We remove a lot of things from the syntax of a function. Why? Because Swift compiler can infer that automatically. So we don't have to write that. And after removing whatever is the outcome, that is the closure, guys. So here we go. This is it. And the application is passing a function into another function. Or to be specific, passing a function into a parameter of another function is the application of closure. I want you guys to go through this process of converting a function into a closure by following these steps. We will now start going through these steps. And before we proceed, after performing a step, see, there is a lot of remove, bring, and remove. So in every step, we are just removing a lot of things from syntax of a function. Let me quickly write a function for you so that you can imagine. Uh, let's write a sum, which takes two arguments, and it returns. That's it. So if you perform a steps, you see this keyword here, 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 and here as well. So only accept the first step. We on every step, whatever the outcome is after the removals of uh, keywords from the function syntax is closure. You can call it closure. It just as we move down to the steps, we are making more and more compact version of a function to which we call closure. Let's get started. First, remove function and name this func keyword and the sum, the name of the function. We can simply remove it. And the second is bring open curly bracket to front and leave in keyword behind at its place. So this open curly bracket, just bring it in the front. And leave a in keyword behind at its place. This is a closure, guys. Here, it means now you got a closure. Let's test it. Let me give it a name. All you have to do is give it a name and test it. Whatever will come, I will print it. Let's run this. Okay, there is another code somewhere. This is an example I kept for you guys. We'll come to that, but right now I want you to pay attention to just this one. See, 7, 4 plus 3, 7. This is a closure, guys. This is a function in which we have removed a couple of things, and whatever the outcome is closure, really. Just that simple. Let's move on to the third step, remove input types. X and Y are inputs, integer are the types. Let's remove it. And put some common sense. We don't need this columns. So remove that as well. What we're having right now is again a closure, guys. Let's run it and see the change. I'll just change the value so that we can recognize it. Here we go. Now again, after third step, I wrote here, it means what we get is a closure. Let's move on to the fourth steps. give type of closure, it will create. And finally, remove output type here. Just like the way we created input types, we can create an output type as well. And before that, we just have to do one thing, give type of the closure, it will create. So this name you give, you just have to give the type of the closure you are creating. That is, the type of this function is, it is taking two inputs of type integer and it is returning one output that is of type integer. Now you can just remove the output type, add some common sense, and remove the arrow because we don't need it. It's a closure again, guys. As I wrote here, it's a closure again. Let's test it, making it 3. We got 6. Let's move on to 5th. Remove return keyword here. Here in the sense, again, same thing, remove return keyword. Remove it. It's a closure again, guys. Let's run it, making change in the values. 37. That's simple. Let's move on to the 5th step. Remove input names and use dollar to refer to inputs or arguments. This, just like we removed input types, output types, we can remove input name as well. These are input X and Y. Just remove it. Simply remove it. You don't need it. Now add some common sense and remove the crap as well. That is this bracket. We don't need this. We can just remove it. Before that, let's see what we are seeing here. Cannot find X. Of course, I just removed X. What will we do about this X? Well, remove input types and use dollar to refer to the inputs. These inputs that we are going to give here, we can refer them using dollar sign. $0 will be the first argument that will arrive here at the place of X. And $1, you guessed it, is the second argument. It is 3 that will arrive here. Okay, removing the graph. Also, in keyword is also a graph. We don't need it. That's it, guys. This is the closure. Let's run it. Making changes. 300. 334. This is it. So you have seen in all the steps, only after the first step we did not got the closure. Second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. I wrote here for just to see we get a closure. We can use that syntax. So this is the compact version of the function. This we call closure. Now I want you to look at 3 things in the syntax. One is the name of this closure. This is the type of the closure, also known as signature. And the rest in this curly bracket. This is the body. So the function name, and this is it. Signature, this one, and closure body is this much. Now we are moving on to the application. The application is, you don't have to read it. I will just explain you guys, and you can take a screenshot of this for your notes. Now, if you see at this function, and we are just calling this function return after operation. Or let me just make it very easy. X, I said some random anything. As I told you, the application of a closure is passing a function into another function, or to be specific, passing a function to the parameter of another function. Now you call it a function or a closure. It's the same thing, just the syntax are different. Here we are passing a closure to another function. Let me show you. This is just a simple function xyz taking two arguments, and it is taking a closure. So this parameter is the parameter of this function to which we are going to pass a closure. Let's say this is the closure name as we learned here. Closure name, signature, and body. Only three things. Parameter name becomes the closure name, and parameter type becomes the closure type. Now what is left? Function name, signature, only the body is left. So we pass the body when we are calling this function xyz. Let's see, xyz, x going to be something, y going to be something, and the closure name, this closure name, I am going to give it the body. Okay, this is the name. You can give any name to this parameter. As we said earlier, we just gave it a name and tested it. Just like that, you can give it any name. Okay, let me now move forward. This is the body, taking it and giving it here, writing it more like this, and this is it. We just gave the body, and yeah, this is it. What we're doing is, this is the closure name, closure signature, and closure body. We have passed the closure body as an argument to this parameter, okay, of type closure, and we're using this closure. Basically, it means we're using that compact function here by passing what it takes two arguments, and we're passing it from here. That's it. It returns the value. It will do this operation, and it will return the value. Whatever it will return, we will capture it here. Let's run it. Let me comment this. 36, 32 plus 4, 36. This is it. Let's look at another function which gives you more understanding. If you look at this, it gives some result. It takes two it has two parameters which takes integer type. It has another parameter which takes a closure of type this, basically a function of type this. We have passed the function. Now another concept to learn about closure. The another means the last, a single thing, because you will see this in syntax. This is one way of writing, one way of calling a closure. This is one way, write the parameter name and give the closure body, which is this. Yeah. Another way is, if your function is, one second, if your function is having the closure parameter in the last place, in the sense you have a lot of parameters in the beginning and your last parameter is the closure parameter, then you can do something. While calling, you can close the parenthesis before and keep the closure trailing at the end, like this. That's it. Let's run this and check. Let me comment this. Let's run this. Changing the value 336. See, this is the another way of writing. or to be more specific, another way of calling the closure. So there are two ways. The simple way is you just use the parameter and give the body, or you don't have to do that. You can just close the parenthesis and keep the closure body trailing in the end. Okay, let's look at this function now. This is just function, which takes two parameter and it takes a function. And after performing a function, it returns a value. Now, you know, this is a closure body, and this is the closure signature, and this is a closure name. This is it. You see right now an application. We want to do summation. We could have done any operation. Okay, we could have done operation, um, any operation, right? So minus, we can keep it subtract. The only thing why we are passing the closure, passing the function to the parameter to another function is we want to use that function inside the function. We want to use the closure inside the function. We're using it as abstract. Now the thing is, if we are not sure what we're going to do with this value, then we can just keep it some. We have created a closure. We don't know what we're going to do. We can make changes here. Plus, we see, sorry, 97. Let's divide it. Plus, so whatever the changes operations you want to do, you can just make changes here and you will see the change. So this was the thing. Now let's see where you see it in real life. Completion handler. That is nothing but a closure. That's it. I don't see. Let's look at this. Can you recognize what we just learned? Can you just recognize where is closure in here? Now look at load picture. The function. It has one parameter server, another completion, and it takes a picture and gives void. Don't you think this is the signature of the closure? We have three things in closure: signature, closure name, and closure body. This is the closure signature, this is the closure name, and we are going to pass the body to that. Now, and the last parameter of this function is on failure, takes nothing and gives something. So we are passing two closures in it, two closures. So there are two parameters. These are two closures. And if let pictures, we download something, I think, from the server. If there are pictures in it, then we call a completion closure. If there is a problem, we call a failure closure. And here we go. When we call load picture, we give the first parameters something, and the second is, and the third is closures only. So see, the last parameter is, and the second last parameter is also, both are closures. So we can close the parenthesis, this one, and keep the closure trailing in the end. As many closures are there, we can just keep all of them trailing. So see, this is the body. This is the body. Now you see there is a input and in keyword and the body. This is nothing but which step closure it is. So which step, at which step we had this closure? Do you remember? So if you go through this step, at some step you will find this kind of this syntax closure. So I'm moving on to more uh, you know, complex, this thing, complex examples. This is something you need to do in private. Give it the time and just go through a lot of closure examples. Go randomly search here, closures in Swift examples, and just look at a lot of closures and you will get the understanding on what closures are. This is it, guys. This is it. This is all it has. If you do not understand, go through this video once more and I'm sure you will get it. It takes a while to get a grasp on the concept, but this is worth for a very long time. Closures are everywhere in in Swift, and Swift is the best language I think is there in the world, because using Swift you can make applications for many Apple products. You just need to learn one language and you can write for every device that they have. And and I think you should, if you are in college, you're planning to learn, this is your thing, man. Buy a MacBook and just start learning Swift. And this is it, guys. This is the end of the video. The agenda of this channel is to give you clear understanding in the shortest way possible and in a single video on one topic. Uh, and and so that you can just be 10 years forward as compared to any other experienced programmer. So if you think it was worth, the video was worth, if you think this video helped you, then please give it a like, comment, and subscribe. Please comment, give me uh, a view on this video. How was it? Was it slow? Was it fast? Or was it not that in detail? Uh, so that I can improve. This video is all about making things quick and easy. So this is it. If you have any problem in understanding this, if you have any doubts, please comment. I will definitely reply as soon as possible. And share with your other iOS developer friends, and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to subscribe, because I'm going to bring a whole playlist on all the concepts in Swift one by one. I post video every day, and you'll be seeing video of this kind, which is very much explanatory. You need to give some extra time personally to go through the example, so that whatever you have learned, it will get shape in your mind. And just couple of um, like an hour or two after watching many examples and writing them, I would recommend you write also closures. And this is it. This is the day. Within next 2 hours, you're done with closure for life. So don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.